Though the colorful costume of the X-Men's Wolverine remains quite an iconic uniform of Marvel Comics, the costume itself has yet to translate to film beyond a few painful glimpses. Prior to Wolverine's highly anticipated MCU introduction, a dedicated Wolverine cosplayer has done what 20th Century Fox ultimately failed to do, and brought a version of the famous Canucks comic costume to life. With the Marvel Cinematic Universe's faithfulness to its comic book source material, it seems inevitable that any future live-action version of Wolverine will receive an upgrade more akin to the character's classic comic book design. Since his first comic book appearance in the early 1970s, Wolverine has been outfitted with stylish yellow and black garb, which would receive further alterations upon his recruitment by X-Men founder, Professor Charles Xavier. With Wolverine on film, actor Hugh Jackman's portrayal of the fan-favorite X-Man proved to be a massive hit with mainstream audiences, but his physical resemblance left much to be desired for comic fans. Not only was Jackman's Wolverine much taller and personable than his comic book counterpart, but the character went without his face-covering superhero uniform. The 20th Century Fox X-Men films have distanced themselves from adapting Wolverine's traditional comic costume largely in favor of black leather and white tank tops, unaware that Wolverine's costume represents more than simply a need for additional heroes in colorful suits. With hard work and sharp photography, actor and cosplayer Mark Robards, at Mark_Knight_Rises, has done the impossible of adapting a live-action Wolverine costume. Everything that comic readers are familiar with, from the mask, X-Men chest symbol, belt buckle, and cigar are all laid bare for longtime fans of Wolverine. Even Wolverine's favorite pastime of visiting seedy bars is kept in plain sight, with the photography of the shoot being done by Ryan Sims, at Ryan Sims Photography. The only real deviation from the comics turns out to be the arms of Wolverine's suit, which are covered here but typically remain sleeveless in most interpretations. A fellow commenter on the post even makes note of this, suggesting that Robards has adopted an MCU sensibility, wherein the studio tends to retrofit certain elements of their heroes in favor of making them functional for a real-world atmosphere. Mark Robards' Wolverine cosplay shows how functional Logan's comics costume can be in live action. Though the character can often be a loose cannon among team players, Wolverine's costume symbolizes his willingness to embrace the ideals of the group of X-Men in which he would eventually form a familial bond. A yellow and black, or blue, spandex suit can be quite silly in hindsight, but Wolverine understands the impact that superheroes have in the eyes of the human beings who fear and distrust the mutant community. Even upon his entry to other superhero teams such as the Avengers, Wolverine retains his super suit and may opt to shed his hero attire for more personal affairs. The X-Men are operating in a world filled with costumed superheroes, and that means wearing outfits that will help cushion public perception of mutants. Following an indirect mention in Marvel Studios' latest Phase 4 project, She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, it's clear that Wolverine and plenty of other fan-favorite mutants are on their way to the main MCU timeline, and when he does, the character can now have his classic costume to accompany him. There would not be a better way to help differentiate a new Wolverine from Jackman's interpretation than finally adapting Wolverine's classic superhero costume. Source: Mark Robards.